Hi everybody, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my bookish travels. Today I have a few more book to movie adaptation recommendations. That is a very long title. I gotta come up with something better. But for now, let's jump into the 5 book to movie adaptations I want to share today and the reasons why I feel that the adaptations are much better than the books. I know, I said it. The first one I want to mention is the movie The Handmaid's Tale, and it actually was done much better than the book. I found that the book just really dragged on for The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and I didn't really like the book, but I found that the movie did such an amazing job representing the actual themes, the storyline, and all of that in the film, and they did a really good job staying true to the book to movie adaptation, but was such a better representation of it than the wordiness that I found the novel to be. Next is Before I Go to Sleep. I did actually enjoy the book. Not enough to keep it, but I enjoyed the story for Before I Go to Sleep. I thought it was a very well-written thriller, and when I saw the movie adaptation for it, I was blown away. It was done so well. The acting, the directing, the cinematography, everything was just so on point for this story. I can't say enough praise that if you haven't seen it and you don't necessarily care if you read the book before you watch the movie or you've read the book and you're unsure about the movie, go and check out the movie. Nicole Kidman and Colin Firth did a brilliant job portraying their parts in this story. It was so well done, and honestly, I think that the movie version of it was actually done better than the book because there were certain points that kind of dragged on and didn't really add a lot of value to the story, and in the adaptation, they actually took those out. So it's a lot of the key bits and condenses it into the core of the story, and I just really liked that aspect of it. The next one is 84 Charing Cross Road. So I have read The Duchess of Bloomsbury as well as 84 Charing Cross Road, and what's interesting about it is 84 Charing Cross Road for the movie actually does a really good job of condensing both of those stories into one film. I love Anthony Hopkins, and I think that he did a brilliant job portraying this character in the story. Now, yes, I do want to let you know that this is actually based on the actual author and her friendship and writing companionship, friendship, book dealer type of relationship. This is based on an actual timeline in somebody's life and is the actual letters that they sent. I really love the movie because they don't necessarily downplay the narrator of the story. What happens is they've actually made it that she's a little bit more agreeable. I find that her actual writing and personality is very abrasive in the story, but it doesn't negate the fact that I think that it is a wonderful, wonderful story that if you haven't read it, you should give it a try. But this adaptation does a really good job of taking the past and the present. It really meshes very well together for this story, and it just is such a good film. If you are looking for something that is not very fast-paced, that definitely immerses you in this friendship, and if you've ever wished that you had a book dealer, that you need to definitely try this and watch this movie because it gives all the vibes. Meet the Robinsons is such a good movie, and it's based off of A Day with Wilbur Robinson. I actually really enjoyed the short children's picture book, but what I found I preferred about the movie adaptation, and yes, I did watch the movie before I read the book. I didn't even know it was based on a book. The reason why, though, I like the movie more is because it fleshes out the story and the characters and gives them a backstory, and it's just so well done, and it is such a cute story. Honestly, keep moving forward is a phrase that my mom and I say a lot, as do my siblings. We all speak fluent movie quotes in my family, even my dad did, and honestly, this film is one that all of us have very fond attachment to because of the storyline. If you guys have a love of picture books, you should definitely read A Day with Wilbur Robinson, but you should finish off reading that by watching this movie because Disney did a brilliant job with it. And honestly, if I had to choose one of the two of them to remain, it would probably be the movie because I just love it so much. And finally, I have Kinsman, The Secret Service. This one is based off of a graphic novel, and I actually did read the graphic novel after I watched the movie. And I much preferred the movie to the comic. It did not work for me. I just did not connect with the story. It didn't really feel very much like it had a good flow, and for that I felt like it was a very disconnected story and I didn't really see a lot of development in the story itself. Whereas when you look at the film, there's such a great progression with the characters, and honestly, I still can remember all of the emotions I was feeling sitting in the theater watching the movie for the first time. Colin Firth and Taron Egerton are amazingly brilliant in it, as is Michael Caine, Samuel L. Jackson, and Mark Strong. I loved getting to see all of these brilliant actors on screen together, and it just worked really well. I remember that the story is so original and unique that there were so many different things that they provided in the story that you just weren't used to seeing happening in a movie, especially the first one in a series. So for me, I definitely highly recommend, if you guys read the graphic novel comic for Kingsman and you didn't like it, go in knowing that you didn't like the book version of it and experience the film knowing that it is its own being and completely separate to that. And I feel like it's more inspired by the story than actually being a true adaptation of it. So for me, these are 5 films that maybe I did or didn't like the book, but I absolutely love and highly recommend checking out the adaptations for them. If you guys have watched any of the ones that I've mentioned, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. I will talk to you more in my next video. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you then. Bye!